Hello everyone, happy December. Finally had the time to join back in with the wonderful global monthly video hop Stampin' Up demonstrators. So the theme for December is Christmas, and I'm going to make a special little project today. Before I forget, do visit the other videos that are in the description box below and go through them one by one and see all the wonderful Christmas inspiration that we're bringing you this month. Now, I want to say this project was inspired by a lady on my team, and her name is the Crafty Little Gem. So Gemma showed myself and the team at one of our get-togethers how to make this wonderful little project. So what I've done is I haven't cased it word for word kind of thing. I've resized it so it's a bit bigger, but I'll quickly show you what we're making. So this was the original one, and it uses chipboard or greyboard. So it's a little book with fold out section for photos, journaling cards. It really is adorable. Now the one I want to make is slightly bigger, so this is going to be 3x4. Okay, so here's my prototype here. Ta-da! Isn't it wonderful? So we're going to make that today. Right, let's get started. Now I've prepped all the bits mostly. So what I want to do just now is tell you about the products we're using today. So the main products are the Reindeer D's 12x12 Designer Series paper, and you'll agree this is such a fun set of Designer Series papers. I absolutely love it. Colour focus for the card is, for the project, is Granny Apple Green. And I've decided to use the Peaceful Season stamp set for the sentiment. Now you're going to need, you could follow this step by step. The sentiment that I'm using on my project, I've actually white embossed onto Granny Apple Green, a season of wonder and happiness sentiment. So if you want to follow this step by step, you will need your embossing goodies such as your Versamark, your embossing buddy, and our white Stampin' emboss powder. So fabulous. Oh, so excited, so excited. Right, so put this aside. All of these are available in my online store. Right, so first of all, what we need is the greyboard or the chipboard. Now, if you don't have this, you can actually use the backing from any of your packs of Designer Series paper. Let me see if I have one here. So here's one, for example. So, you know, on a 12x12 pack, you get this. I always save these. I like to make 3x3" boxes out of these, but this will do. It's thick enough for this project. So if you don't have greyboard, you can do that, or you could always glue layers of cardstock together to make it thicker. Okay, so these measure, so I'm going to put my measurements to the side. You need two pieces that measure 3 inches by 4, okay? And then the spine in the middle is 4 inches by 3/4, okay? Now we're going to wrap that up in Designer Series paper. You could use card if you like, but I think it's a little bit quicker using Designer Series paper. So this is the cover, outside cover for this little book. So this measures 8 inches by 5, okay? So bear in mind if you've got a pattern or what have you, the way that you cut it. So make sure that the pattern is right way round and you want the 8-inch length at the top. Okay, what you need to do is cover your panels, your greyboard, with tear and tape. Okay, so I've done that in advance because that takes a little bit of time. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to stick them down. Now it's roughly 1/2 inch border, so use that as a guide and start at the left side. So let's do this. Now it might be a slightly longer video, I do apologise, but like I say, I have prepped all the stuff in advance. So I'm just taking off all of the backing from the tear and tape, throwing it up in the corner there where you can't see it. I hope everyone's well. It seems like so long since I've done a Global Monthly video hop video. This time of year is just absolutely crazy. I'm busy with my day job. Lots happening. As you know, this time of year can be quite trying for people. So, right, okay, now it's right round. I want the little trees facing up. So all we're going to do is place this onto our DSP. Okay, we'll do all 3 panels first, but then we're going to actually give it a little rub on the reverse, okay? You can add weight glue as well if your hands are a little unsteady. If you use a little bit weight glue over that tearing tape, it gives you a little wiggle room just for a few seconds before it completely sticks. Now, you can use another piece of board as a guide for the gap in between the spine and these panels. However, I am just going to do it by eye. Okay, so as long as you have room for it to fold like this. So what is that? Is that 1/8 of an inch? I think that's probably 1/8 of an inch gap. I think it is. Right. And you want to make sure it's all in line as straight as possible. I always have trouble cutting thick grey board because I use a different trimmer for that. So I've got a different kind of like paper cutter for that. I wouldn't use my Stampin' Up one because it's so thick. But this other trimmer, unless you completely hold it down, it can move at any minute during a cut like that on this grey board. So, right, let's see now. That's why I love my Stampin' Up one better. You could also use cereal box packaging or anything. Right, now that's came off slightly, so what I'm going to do, it will be stuck down with other bits. This is a really old piece, so I'm just going to add some white glue. Now it's very sticky. Right, so what we want to do is, again, line this up like so. Sorry, my tummy is rumbling. I am terrible for always doing videos when I'm needing to actually eat. So there's the 3 pieces on there, okay? So give it a burnish. What do we need to do now? Let's get our snips, and we want to cut diagonal across. Just leave a tiny little smidgen. Don't know if you can see that. Tiny little smidgen where it can kind of overlap. Okay, so I'm going to do that in all 4 corners. These little projects do take a little bit of time, mainly because you've got to put the tearing tape on. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to kind of fold in gently all the sides in preparation for sticking them down, okay? So just fold them in, lovely jubbly, like so. And the same with this bit. Okay, now the outer papers are really good for this. Depending on what cardstock you're using, it could start to crackle. So just be ever so gentle. Right, okay, tearing tape now. So we need a strip along here, on this side as well, on here. I love the inspiration that fellow demonstrators give us, especially when it's someone in your own team. Smithy Stampers. It's just lovely to see people crafting and being creative. It's just great. Right, we're going to fold in the top and the bottom ones first, okay? So just make sure you've pressed that down good and proper. Okay, so just do that. You want to give it a firm press. Let's do the opposite side. Use your bone folder if you wish. Is everybody looking forward to the festivities this year? I'm looking forward to the holiday break and time at home for a full 2 weeks in one day. It's amazing. Right, I'm just going to do the sides now. Okay, there we go. This is wonderful. And the other side. Ta-da! Now, bone folder, gently, gently crease in those folds and just shimmy, shimmy it in like so. So there is the outer. These are just amazing. I love working with greeboard. Now, what we need now is an inside panel. The inside panel needs to measure 6 3/4 of an inch by 3 7/8, which I have here. Now, this does have the granny apple green in it, but I think it's too busy compared to that. So I'm going to use the little reindeers on the inside. Okay, so what we need to do, again, we need to add tearing tape. Okay, so I want to add a piece here. Now there is an 1/8, should be an 1/8 of an inch gap around the whole thing. So I'll just add some strips of tearing tape on the inside, and then I'm going to do the same on the actual piece that's going to be placed down. Okay, so make sure they're all down. Right, so make sure it's the right way up for the way that you're going to pop it on. So along all of the edges, like so, we are going to add the tape. I apologise if you hear any excess noise going on. Our neighbours are getting a wall built in their front garden, so it's going to look really, really nice for them. A little bit extra security in your space as well. Right, so let's do this. So if we peel off the backing on the inside first. Now I do have a fresh coffee beside me. I'm going to have a little drink of it in a wee second. These are really, really adorable. Adorable. Wait till you see it finished. I will finish my other prototype later. Now you'll notice this is the, oh, it's the right way round, it's fine. I was just checking, I thought it was upside down, but it's not. Right, so we have all the tape backings off. Pop that away just now and make sure this is the right way round. This is how I put panels on. So I will just peel off and press back on all 4 sides this double-sided tape. I'm learning if you do these little tips, it does help you, especially if you're maybe got unsteady hands or what have you. So when you're placing it down on your project, it's going to help you get a little bit more centered. Right, so right way round, right way round. All I want to do is, yep, that's pretty centered to me. So I'm just going to press down on the bits that are obviously showing, that are, showing, they've not got the tape on it. And then I just simply peel back, take your time with it because sometimes that can rip. Peel back the backing and the 4th side. Ta-da! Here we go. So again, what we want to do is bring our bone folder in, and we want to find those, just gently bend it to see where the lines are. Now, do give it a good burnish first though, I do apologise. Make sure all that sticky tape is stuck. Give it a little burnish like so. And again, just gently, gently fold that in. Now, there's a little bit bubble in there, so all I need to do is stick that down again. And there we have it, inside and outside. Now, it's time for the fun part. We want to make the insert. So what you're going to need is coordinating cardstock. So I've chosen the Granny Apple Green as it matches outside. You need 3 lengths, three pieces that measure, 3 3/4 by 11. Okay, so you need 3. Whereas in the original design it was 2 lengths, but because this is a slightly bigger, what do you call it? I forgot the word. Oh goodness, it's a slightly bigger area, so you're going to get more in it. Right, okay, so on all 3 pieces, so move your project to the side. On all 3 pieces we need to do 3 scores. So those scores are going to be, oh, I've got an itchy nose. They're going to be 2 3/4, so make sure your blade is away. 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and 8 1/4. Okay, so you do that on all 3 pieces. So let me repeat that, 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and 8 1/4. Third and final piece, here it comes, here it comes. 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and I think today, hang on, 8 1/4. Finish what you're doing, Tricia. I think today I have a Stampin' Up delivery coming. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Right, okay, let's do this. So we want to mountain valley fold, zigzag fold, all of these pieces. So burnish them well, burnish them as you go, and then we'll figure out how they all go together in a wee second. Zigzag, zigzag. These make wonderful, wonderful gifts. And if you like, you could adjust it slightly so that you add an extra piece of ribbon and you're able to gift it to someone that they can actually pop it on their Christmas tree. Right, so we want it folding out the way. Okay, so we're going to take this as the bit that needs glued. Okay, so we can pop a little cross on that so that we remember. And then what we need to do is just join them together. Now, if you notice, there's a little slight difference in size there. So what I do is just take a smidgen off here. So if I bring the trimmer back in, remember what side it is, and it's just a tiny, tiny little bit that you want to take off. So about that size. Okay. And we'll need to repeat that with the third panel as well. Right, so that's the side that goes down, and this is the side we want to glue. So you can see now it is better and it's more flush. Okay, so what you could do actually is stick it this way. Yeah, I'll stick it down that way. And then I can bring that up really flush. So white glue, I've left the lid off. Okay, and I want to join that. And then we're going to repeat the process. So just make sure it's lined up. Give it a good press and a burnish. And it's hardly noticeable. Okay, let's do that again. So this piece is going to go there. So we need to take a little, I'll just do it off camera, take a little smidgen off again. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So again, we're going to place it on top and we're going to bring that slightly cut section up in line with that panel there. There's a little bit of dry glue stuck in this, but if you don't over squeeze it, it will not come flying out like an explosion. So again, just line those up. Perfect. So we have lots of mats and layers. Right, make sure it's the right way. Right, I'm just making sure that the this is on the right way. So I've stuck it slightly too far over on one piece, but if you take your time when doing it, or I've got it the wrong way round, that's better. We're going to pull that out like so. I see what I've done. Here is an excess piece, so I'm just going to trim that off. Much better. Right, now to glue it in. So you can use tearing tape and top it up with wet glue, but I'm just going to pop it in with wet glue. So it means you can shimmy it around a little bit, get that placement proper. Okay, open it up, give it a good burnish. Perfect. And then when you add little layers and that on it, there's still room for that extra bulking up. So that is why it seems there's a gap there. Now the next stage is we want to add a ribbon before we add our topper. Now ribbon needs to be, if I remember right, it's about 20 inches. So I've just used this one. I'm not sure if it's still active actually, I think it might be. This comes with a petal pink one as well. It's a double pack. I think it's an annual catalogue one. So we want to add this on. So tearing tape out again. So we're going to place a piece just about in the middle there. Okay, just maybe 1.5 inches. Okay, press it down. So this is the front. This tearing tape is absolutely brilliant for this. So before we stick it, we want to make sure it's all level. So bear that in mind, move it up and give it a little press. I don't usually stick any on here, but now that I have that front piece on, I can use the ribbon that's already there as a guide for my next piece. Now you might get it out ever so slightly, but I wouldn't worry about that. We're not covering up the back today, we're just decorating the front, but if you have time you can put panels on the back and hide that ribbon if you like. But if you don't like, that's fine, just do as I'm doing. Wonderful. Ta-da! So, now we can close that. Oh, I might add, you can put mats and layers on any of these, coordinating with any of the colours in the products that you're using. I like to leave mine plain because I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Isn't that wonderful? Now, you could, if you like, you could punch a hole in here, add a little hanging piece. So you would need a little bit extra ribbon for that. So it's the right way round still. So what we need to do now is we need to put a mat and a layer on. So the mat measures 2.5 by 3.5. If you want to see more of the image on the designer series paper you've used, you can make this smaller. It's entirely up to you. We need a white layer as well that you can either stamp on or anything. I don't know what I was going to say there. What I've used is this 3D Snowflakes embossing folder excess piece. Cut it down to 2.25 by 3.25. That's going to go in there, like so. It's always good when you have little scrappy pieces lying around. You never know when they come in handy. So that is going to go in the front. How adorable. Isn't that sweet? Right, now I am going to use my foam sheets that you can buy. I'm just going to use 2 pieces. One for on there and one for the bottom half. I know this isn't thick ribbon, but I do want this to be raised up 3D, so those double-sided foam sheets are great for larger areas. Okay, so we're just going to pop that down, give it a wee press. You can open it up and press it as well if you want to give good burnish. Right, put that in there. let's get rid of all these little bits. Have your little Stampin' Up! Pop-up bin handy for all these little bits. I'll just put them in the side. I think my bin's in the other room actually because I emptied it this morning. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to get some gorgeous little images from this designer series paper. And we're going to pop one or two on, and then we're going to add our sentiment. So here is the white embossed sentiment, and I think that just was absolutely gorgeous. Now, I think I'll just stick with the snowman. You could do lots though. There's the trees and there's the little deers and what have you. But I'm going to stick with this one. I'm going to pop him down flush because I will raise up. I'm going to just overlap slightly. Oops. Now, because it's on embossed, what I'm going to do for a second is line it up, Tricia, line it up. I'm just going to put a block on it, just to hold it still for a wee second. While I do that, I'm going to get out some basic rhinestone jewels. I love using these when there's white in a project. You can't beat them. You can't beat them. So put them to the side just now. If you wanted, you could put sequins on or other embellishments that maybe match the colours. So he seems stuck down nice. We're going to add, get this double-sided foam sheets back out. We're going to add a piece on the back of the sentiment. These are great for quick crafting. I mean, I do love our dimensionals, but if you're doing videos, these are really nice and quick. So, what we're going to do is pop this here, line it up, give it a wee press. I love it. I love it. I think this turned out gorgeous. And then we're going to add, finally, because this is the end, we are going to add 3 jewels. So we're going to use the large, the medium, and the small. Look how gorgeous they are. Twinkle, twinkle. So the third one, I'm just going to put down here. You could put it in a trio there, but I like it down there. So, and that, my friends, is the Global Monthly Video Hope for December. Just beautiful. Do remember and visit all the other videos in this hop. You can add, this using the same dimensions as the front, layers on the inside to add a sentiment or decorate. You can decorate any of these little pieces, maybe with the little fuzzy cut images as well. This would make a good gift for a child as well. So you could decorate that all the way through. But I'll leave that up to you because that's the more personal side for your crafting. Let me just sort this bow. I love that ribbon. Absolutely love it. And like I say, if you wanted it as a hanging ornament, you could punch a hole in there and add some ribbon. But just beautiful. Take it a step further. Make a little box for it with a lid. And that's another special touch to this wee project. Thank you again, everyone, and thanks to my lovely team lady, Gemma, the crafty little gem in my team, for inspiring me to replicate her project with my own measurements today. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Yeah, and happy crafting, folks. Thanks again, and I'll see you in January.